Okay, episode 8 and Galactic Confederation. So the beginning of space colonization. So I guess now we will maybe learn how the war has started. This is somewhat similar to what happened to Hitler. Oh, and this is so the Republic or the Alliance was brought towards a rebellion. Yeah, definitely with a dictatorship like that and tyranny of that leader. So definitely the people will retaliate and will find a way to fight back or at least leave their own, have their own freedom. Yeah, this changes a lot for the alliance. Yeah, because this is because I don't think they'd be able to do the same thing. I guess maybe they could, but at least they should be wary that the possibility of being infiltrated. Yeah, I think their best option would be Reinhard. Yeah. Yeah. So this is also somewhat similar to Star Wars, but I guess the free planets of alliances become much more successful and much more bigger compared to what the rebels had or the resistance had. I guess the difference with Yang Wengli is he choose he chooses leaders not just because of their skills and yeah their skills, but he chose them because he trusts them. I guess he sees their character, and I think Reinhard is much more tactical, and I think Yang Wei is also tactical, but he he believes in his own people. And I guess I understand where Reinhard is coming from, especially from the Empire. It is easy to rely on anyone to be trustworthy. definitely this is a big hit. So he'll give Reinhardt an input with regards to how Iserlohn was captured. Yeah. And Reinhardt's the only one that he trusts is Kerhais. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because his commander's orders were for them to die fighting. Yeah, I never thought about the repercussions of what he has done. Yeah, and definitely he could provide some intel. So, whoa, artificial eye. Oh, wow, a rebellion within another rebellion being formed. Yeah, and yeah, they're seeing the the younger generation is seeing the potential, and I guess it is somewhat obvious what Reinhardt is trying to do for them, but that is a pretty risky and whoa. Is this a test of Wow. Yeah, definitely, especially with his skills and his motivations. And I think they coincides with what Reinhard's trying to do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. It's escalating so fast. And is getting almost near to the. I guess wonder what's next to the chief of staff. So maybe it's the Kaiser himself. No. And immediately the youngest chief of staff and the jealousy and the envy of other soldiers definitely. Which position you want? Wow. He's making it. It seems like he cared. I guess at least he's saving himself for another opportunity. Yeah, and the Kaiser is considering the suggestions of Reinhard. Yeah. I guess that's one of the thing he could negotiate. I can have it anytime. Yeah. Yeah, he can get there. He actually he's almost he's actually was there, but he let it pass for the moment. So yeah, he's just expecting his skills. Yeah, and yeah, to make him useful. Yeah, I guess his main objective is his saving his sister, taking him away from that. Or maybe they've seen what Oberstein has done before. Oh no, I thought Oberstein really. But right now it seems like he's pretty much calculated in what he does. Oh, I get it now. Rudolph, Adolf. It took me a while to realize that. Yeah, the power I think corrupted him, made him want to have more, and in the end, I guess he questioned. No one would question his authority and also what he do and what he wants, and that trickled down to his staffs, the leaders, the nobles that is under him. So yeah, it's like a chain reaction of what the leader is like, and the ones who suffer are the people who are below that, the ordinary people. Yeah, also battle of politics. Yeah, but Kira is really worried about that guy, about Oberstein. So maybe eventually Oberstein will make a decision that will, because his motivation is towards, yeah, but I'm not sure what will happen, but feels like he's really rooting for Reinhard. Oh, so the Kaiser knows. Sorry. cool, clear, cybernetic eyes. Okay, so that's the end of the episode, and now we're seeing the development that is happening in the empire and how they are dealing with the defeat of the Acer Loin. And yeah, definitely with that massive amount of, it's like losing a nuclear nuclear weapon to the enemy. And yeah, the chief of staff definitely um, yeah, they felt ashamed that they wanted to resign from their position. And I think eventually that will also be a directive of the Kaiser. Because but yeah, it makes sense that it's not really, somewhat not really their fault, because it was um, but still it is their responsibility to appoint the correct admirals, or the general admirals protecting that Iserlon, and also the designation of forces and reinforcements, things like that. So I think they shouldn't have taken lightly what the alliance could do. I guess they're somewhat underestimating them, because they have this massive Thor hammer weapon that they, because I think maybe for years now, no one has, yeah, they said no one has been able um to infiltrate or to defeat the Iserlon fortress, which makes it the most famous for being impregnable. And yeah, so, and now that Yang Wenli has been able to do that, so yeah, I think they're starting to think twice with regards to what the Republic or the Alliance can do. And yeah, also we're seeing a lot of development towards what Oberstein is, what he's really planning. So I guess the his experience, even from one just being born as being blind, that he has seen how ruthless this empire is. That yeah, he really hopes um, to overthrow the current government that they have now, because it's definitely the corruption is obvious. It's I guess that's the problem with dictatorship, or yeah, with dictatorship, is that even though the corruption, the tyranny is obviously seen um, in public, you could see it anywhere. But because it is a dictatorship, you can't really do anything, because if you resist, you will be killed. Unlike with being in a other kind of in democracy or republic kind of situation, so it is bounded by rules, not by what these leaders want, because the rules are what these leaders want, what they deem, what they think is right. And yeah, it's somewhat similar to being having a king, that a very tyrannical king, that what he says is the law, whatever it is, whether it is right or wrong. So that is the, and definitely these younger generations, and also just the ordinary people that are seeing that, definitely wouldn't accept that kind of governance that the empire is doing to their lives. Especially, I think a lot of lives, a lot of things has been affected because of that. And yeah, definitely, because who wants to live like that, being under those kinds of people who doesn't really care for the people, and they're just living under greed and their pleasure, and not really caring anything about the people. So yeah, definitely that is one of um, the cause, or the one of ways to make people form a revolution towards a government, is that abuse of power and greed. Because these people can only last and accept so much that eventually they will retaliate. And so and it already happened with the alliance, and they have been able um, to form their own their own republic. But the problem with that republic right now, it is, even though it looks like it is a free country, you can still see the corruption being there. So yeah, there's still a lot of things that still needs to be developed towards um, towards the alliance. I guess what they're really pointing is that no matter what kind of governance it is, whether dictatorship or democracy or republic, if the wrong person is um, if the wrong person is the leader or on the throne, um, the people will really suffer. And I guess the only benefit with a democracy or a republic is that there's an opportunity for people um, to find a way to replace that leader, because definitely there's election with the republic, so there's that option. But another but what another problem with that is if the system is being manipulated by that uh, leader of a democracy or a republican. So it's still somewhat like a dictatorship, but with a little bit more of something like a farce, that you have your freedom, but you don't really have it. So, and the difference with the empire, or the yeah, with the Galactic Empire, is that it is obvious you don't have a choice whether you like it or not. So I guess it's just like um, with the only benefit with, I guess it's not really a benefit with the Republic, is that the people think is that they are free, that they're free from this tyranny, but seems like it's not really the case. It's just that they're being blinded by propaganda, things like that. So yeah, this world is really messed up with the Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and I think it is really necessary for these two young potential leaders to change all of that. And they see that, and they understood what is happening, and I think, that is what Reinhardt is trying to achieve. But I think Yang Wengli will eventually reach to that point where he has to take over the republic, and not just as a military leader, but also as a leader of a country of a whole. So, and that's what I think with this episode and with this year so far. So, how about you guys? What are your thoughts? Just leave your comments down below, and if you think I have missed some details, just let me know in the comments as well. And I also would like to thank my patrons for supporting me in doing this. If you want to help support my channel and also have an early access of my reaction videos, just check out the link in the description down below, and it will really help support me in doing this, and hopefully I could create more reaction videos that you guys enjoy watching with me. So thank you again for being here. See you in my next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.